guys and welcome, and I thought I'd do a video today on how to organize your homeschool materials. So I had a couple people ask me, what's the best way to organize all those books? If you use Rebecca, there's tons of books. If you use any homeschool curriculum, you have a ton of books, a ton of pages, right? A lot of pages in the books. What's the best way to keep track of the books and to keep track of all those pages? So I have been homeschooling my children since they were in preschool on up until my oldest is going to be, I know this, a sophomore. So I have done homeschooling all those years. And I have found that when they were younger, I organized in a different way than when they are now in high school. So I think the way that you organize your homeschool materials is going to change year after year. So, because you're going to get more books, you're going to get more papers, especially if you do, if you're doing high school, Rebecca, you will have more books and maybe less papers. And when you're in the elementary, you're going to have a lot of papers and maybe less books. So I think to have a mindset that you're probably going to have to change your organizational skills every year or so, it's just a good mindset to have. So it's going to change, it's going to fluctuate. I don't think there is a perfect way to do it. I think it just depends on your schedule, the age of the children that you're homeschooling, and what works for you. So what works for me is I don't want to have to spend a lot of time figuring out where my stuff is. I want to know where it is. I want to have quick access to it. And I want to have everything organized by subject, by color code, whatever it is. If you start when your kids are young and you start with yellow is always math, green is always science, blue is always history. And if you have that year after year, when you have your folders and your notebooks for homework, it's going to be easier because you're gonna know that's the English book, that's my math book, that's the math notebook that they're gonna have to have. So just try to have a mindset that it's probably gonna change. So when my kids were little, I did what was called the crate system. Very popular system. You basically have the manila file folders, and I'll show you in the video clip. I'll show you an example of what I did for his crate. And you have your folders, those manila folders, and you put day one. You put lesson 1, lesson 2 on the next folder, lesson 3 on the next week. So 5 days a week, lesson 4, lesson 5. And so you would tear out the lesson 1 sheet, put it in lesson 1. Lesson 2 sheet, put it in lesson 2. Now, if you have really young elementary kids, sometimes lesson 1 is just on the front. Lesson 2 would be on the back. So when you're doing your file folders, you want to make sure maybe it's lesson 1 and lesson 2. Because then you would have to complete lesson 1 and put in a different file folder, and it's just confusing. Some people do that. You can see some people do that, but I never did that. But so you can do lesson 1, lesson 2, lesson 3, lesson 4, or lesson 1 for one folder, lesson 2 for the other folder, and then so on and so on and so on. And then you keep it in a crate. You keep it in just a regular crate. You can get a file folding system with the drawers, and you can keep them in there, and they can keep all 170 lessons. Some people don't keep all 170 lessons, so that's why I did the crate system, I think 1 or 2 years, and then I dropped it. Because I think for me, I didn't really keep all of them anyways, and I was throwing a lot of them out. But it is a way to grab a lesson. So today's day 1, we're doing lesson 1, here's your folder. Do all the work that says lesson 1, highlight where it says lesson 1 on that page so that your child knows you're just doing the front page, not the back, if it's 2 different lessons. So basically, you can just pick out your folder, hand it to the children, especially if you're parent-led, you're not doing DVD or any of that, and they know what pages they're expected to do, what color pages they're expected to do, what math pages they're expected to do. But as the kids get older, I think it's in 4th, 5th grade, they start working out of the book. So the crate system kind of, they started using the book. You don't have to keep the work in the book, in the textbook. You can rip out those pages and still keep using the file folding system. But for me, it just got to be they were using their books more, and so I just stopped doing the crate system. But if you're young, and you're not young, if your kids are young, you can do the crate system. So there's lots of resources for the crate system. I'll show you what it's like at the end of this video. I've kept a couple of them just to show you. And there are moms who will sit down, they'll rip out all 170 lessons if your children are young, They will buy 170 file folders, and they will put, you know, the right sheets in the right folders all up into 170. So they're set for the year. All they have to do is pull out that file folder and pull out the folder and give it to your child. And they're all set. Everything's been pulled out of the books. So if you want to do it that way, you can do it that way. I did it for like a couple of years and then I stopped doing it. I've also tried a different system where you actually use a cart. So there's the cart system where I will show you a picture of it. It's the rolling cart. And so basically it's the same concept, but each drawer, I think there's more than 5 drawers, each drawer would be like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So your child would go to the one that says Monday, open it up, take out his textbook, take out the file folder, the folder book with his stuff in it, and yeah, that would be it for Monday. And so each of the drawers, like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, or you can do math, English, science, you could do it per subject, whichever way you wanted to do it. I think I did it per subject. So for math would be the top one, then English, then science, depending on how old your child is. So when they were older, I used the cart system. So I will give you a picture of that. I don't have my cart system anymore, but that's another way that you can store the books inside the drawer. You can store the work, the notebooks, everything will fit in that one drawer. So you have to change it out every day if you do it by subject, because it's going to probably change, maybe not change that much. But the kid will just know, okay, I'm going to open this up for math. Where's my science? I'm going to open that drawer up for science, and it keeps it all even, and most of it is going to be in the cart, on the cart. And then your books can be on top of the cart that you need for your manual. So I've done the cart system. So you can try the crate system. You can try which is the file folding system, which is the 170 folders and ripping out all the pages and putting them in for each day ahead of time. Or you can do the cart system where it changes out per day or per subject. So yeah, that's that one. Or you can just do what I do now for my older kids. I do a completely different system. I just basically bought these plastic, and I will show you what they look like at the end. I bought these plastic dividers, and so I just put math, and I put all the books in the math divider, and then I put English in the English divider, and then all the subjects, and I have them all stacked together. And then I have another area where I keep mine. So I just use these plastic dividers, so I know which is which, what is where, because I can just pull it out, and it's so close to the table. And if it's a holiday, then I just put the dividers away because I don't want to see that stuff during the holiday. But basically, it's just dividers. And since they're in high school and upper elementary, they don't really have pages to rip out as much because everything is done inside the book. That's why it's going to change how you organize the older your children get. So when they're young, you have all these pages. You have a ton of pages when they're preschool and elementary that you have to tear out. But when they get older, they basically work in the book or they work in a notebook. So you will have your textbook, your notebook, and then you'll have all of the quizzes and tests on your end, all of the answer keys on your end, all the video manuals on. You will have a lot of books. You will have more books than your upper elementary and your high schooler will have. So you will have a lot to organize on your end, and the kids just have their end as well. So I've also a thought of just, my kids in high school, since he's homeschooled, he has a backpack, but he never really goes out and uses the backpack unless he's doing his co-ops. I'm like, well, maybe he can just keep track of all of his stuff. Just give him these books, give him their math book, their science book, their history book, buy them the notebooks, buy them the folders, and just let them store it wherever they want in their bag. See if they're responsible enough to keep up with all of their books. So it should really start to be their responsibility the older that they get. And I'm definitely going to do this his senior year and maybe his junior year as well. He is going to keep track. Just like if they were going to college, they need to keep track of their own books. Maybe they never even need to I don't even need to organize their books for them. I mean, he puts them up, but still, I want them to have that backpack experience. So maybe when they're in those upper high school years, just let them here's your books. They came in for Becca. Here you go. Go do whatever and see if they can bring them to the class. See if they remember to do everything. See, if they can keep track and organize their stuff. So there's a certain time and point where we're not going to be able to organize for them anymore. We're going to organize our manuals and our quizzes and test keys and everything that we need, but they really need to be doing it themselves. Hand them a syllabus, say this is what you need for your class. We're going to Walmart and you're responsible for buying everything on that list. So it just changes. It changes as your kids get older, and organization is key. It will save you time. When you get up in the morning, if you look at my other homeschool videos, how to organize your time better, you want to have everything laid out the night before. You want to make sure when your kids are little, do you have the crayons out? Do you have the markers that they're going to need out? Do you have the rulers they're going to need? Do you have all those supplies that you need so that they're in their drawer or that you're on top of the table? It will just save time for you, and time matters when you're homeschooling. You want to make sure you have as much prepared as you can the night before. I know as a mom, sometimes I feel like homeschooling and taking stuff out, and sometimes I don't. I'm tired. I don't want to have to go through geometry right now. I want to sit back and, I don't know, Netflix. I don't know. I don't really want to do it anymore, but it's a good thing to have our kids with them. Now that, the public school system is not what it used to be when we were younger. So it's kind of a good thing that our children are still with us. And I enjoy seeing them every day. And every year my children get older, I get older, and it's sad, but it's also special that we get to be stay at home, or sometimes we're not stay at home. Sometimes we actually work too, and we still get to homeschool our kids. And sometimes, when your kids are in high school, some moms have full-time jobs and they let their kids just watch the DVDs and they go to work. So that's still on my agenda as something that I might possibly be able to do. So here are the videos. Here are the videos of the file folding system, the crate system, and the system that is just basically dividing system. I just call it the dividing system. And I'm sure there are others out there, but these are the most popular ones that people use. So hopefully that's answered your questions regarding how to organize your homeschool material. I know I'm trying to talk really fast, but I wanted to make this a short video for you guys, and I know that you guys are busy, but if you have any questions, don't hesitate to say something in the comment below. As I said before, I try to respond within 24 hours because I know that you guys are busy and you have work to do, and sometimes finding an answer is, and getting that answer that you need to hear is important, and it helps you to get done what you need to get done. So also, check back on the community page on my YouTube. I'm going to be posting more on there more often about homeschool supplies that I like, things that I like to buy that have helped me with, like, I just posted one about field trips and stuff. So there's just things I'm going to start uploading to the community page because it's faster. And yeah, so it's homeschool season. We're all busy, right? But hopefully this has helped you, and here are the videos. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Okay, so here's an example of the crate system. This is actually a stackable. Yes, it's a stackable, and you can find these at Walmart or Target. They are letter size, so you would need to buy the hanging file folders and then the regular folders, and you would label them lesson 1 all the way lesson 170. So I've gone through these, and I've just made them the years now because, he's a sophomore now in high school. So, but you can start that way, and then lesson 1 all the way to lesson 170. Then when you're done with the school year, you can pick and choose which one you want. But don't throw away the folders, because if you're doing it back again or whatever you're using next year, you can just use the same lesson 1, lesson 2, lesson 3 folders. If they're still in good condition, you don't have to redo them. Just take out the materials, the papers that you want to keep, and you can transfer it to a binder, which is what I did. So as you can see, here's his Abeka work. And I think I kept a great deal of it. This is 2nd grade. And then you can just keep it in a binder. And they really hold up well. So, and then you can just transfer the work to a binder with all the pages that you want to keep up their work, which is what I do with my high schooler. I now keep everything in a binder for him. So my high schooler has everything in a binder as well. Just the papers that he used, even though most of it's in the books. So basically that is it for the crate system. And then the cart system I don't use anymore, but I did include a picture earlier. And now I will show you the dividing system. Okay, so here are the dividers. So math is yellow, English is blue, and so on. You can use coordinating folders where you put the quizzes and the tests and the pullouts there too. And then I have the DVDs stored up above it for quick access. And so I am trying to work on another video where it shows you guys how I'm organizing everything, but this is just a quick glance at everything. And then I have a little bit tidied up here where you see the TV, the monitor, and right over there is where the manuals are and the folders. And then the textbooks are kept over here on a desk or some piece of furniture where he can keep all his textbooks and his notebooks. And it's right where he will be doing his schoolwork. And that is it for this video. I hope it has helped you find some ways to organize your materials. Thank you so much for hitting like and subscribing, and I'll talk to you later, guys.